surprisingly, because we saw Regan Bayliss in the previous come back with all the mud on him. But anyways, that's probably not going to help his chances very much, especially with that wide barrier as well. So he'll have to do a little bit of work, but he is a class horse on his day, and he ran second in the Newcastle Cup last start behind Great House with the big weight. Well, Warning, we've heard some inside mail from Em here about Warning.
Yeah, we believe that the rain had come a little heavier than it did, Caitlin, and as you said, we've spoken to the track manager and we're currently sitting at a good 4. He was a good chance, but he looks fit and ready today.
Okay, and that'd be some story, Bruce, wouldn't it, if Regan Bayliss can win third Group 1?
Well, Larry Cassidy's done the 3, but not on the same day. So it's never been done on the same day, Richo, by the one jockey. So it would be remarkable. And Montefilia, the whole key, I guess, Katie, is whether she gets the trip. She's your top pick. She's got the class, hasn't she?
Yeah, I think so, and I do think she gets her chance today. Huey, we were all hoping that he can get his 100th Group 1 winner aboard her. She, as you said, it's going to be tough for her, but especially drawing that outside barrier. But attorney James he wasn't very happy when the barrier draw came out, because he did give this horse a massive chance to win. He just thinks now he's going to have to go too far back. But this horse has been going super. He's now third up after a nice 6th in the Kingston Town last start. She's Ideal. I've got a big watch on. I love this mare by Dundeel. She's got the cups in mind. Watch for her flashing home late. She was a brilliant winner in the Kingston Town last start at Group 3 level.
Yeah, she certainly was. 18 mares have won this race in history and only 5 in the past 35 years, so not necessarily a mares race. I think this is a good roughie in the race. His name is Harpo Marx. He's a son of Galileo, so a little rain around is no concern at all. Rachel King takes a ride for Björn Baker. Terrific win at Kembla Grange in the Premier's Cup. And then I thought ran okay in the Newcastle Cup with clear excuses. Caitlin, on Tont.
Yeah, well, the query was with the distance with him, but gee, he ran it out solidly in the Colin Stephen at Group 3 level, and I think today he'll get his chance with the 52.5 kilos. He'll go forward. Timmy Clark's riding excellent at the moment after a good day last week, winning the Golden Rose for Gay Waterhouse and Adrian Bott. Their stable's flying, so he's got to be a massive chance today. And Great House, he's coming off a really good Newcastle Cup win as well.
21 Newcastle Cup winners have competed in the Metrop in the last 30 years. Just the one winner, and that is Glencadam Gold. So that was back in 2012. That's Great House. No compromise, Katie. 17 will come onto our screen shortly.
Yeah, I thought No Compromise is a great chance at the lightweight with 50 kilos, Kathy O'Hara aboard. And I feel like Chris Waller has to give Kathy a Group 1 winner at some stage. She rides so much for him, does a lot of work behind the scenes, and I'm hoping that maybe Kathy can get the Group 1 here.
I think Alicia Collett can run really well on Charm Star. Luncey's, Bruce, this is a fascinating horse, Luncey's. I'd give him a chance.
Yeah, look, he ran okay in the Newcastle Cup, Richo. Chris Lee's with so few runners here today, and he has won this race. You mentioned County Tyrone before. Win at Hawkesbury was his only Australian win, but he's only had the 5 starts. He's progressive, not without a hope, Richo. And this is a horse that's been well backed, hasn't he?
Yeah, Zarek, when he finally got into the field, he's my roughie in the race. Well, you look at this preparation. He kicked off with a terrific run with over a short trip, 1,500 metres, loomed up over 2,000 in Kingston Town, strips fitter, 2,400, looks ideal, Ben Way. One of the, I think, key runners in the race.
There are a heap, though, aren't there? Hontonta's our favourite in a really open race. And I'll get to a Chris Waller runner in 2-6. Just a heads up, the Star of the Seas. A few were probably concerned about Star of the Seas, having had a look at the Epsom cardiac arrhythmia, the excuse there. So hopefully bouncing back next start in no time at all. Montefilia at $5.50 is on the second line here, team. She's Ideal at $7. Zarek at $9. No Compromise, that Waller runner, 15 into $10. Luncey's is currently there at $13, but we opened up at 26. So a couple of nervous traders involved at tab. Attorney $21, Harpo Marx at 23. Another race with a heap of depth to it as we have a look at those at longer odds. Great House, Quick Thinker and Co.
Well, Jared, fascinating build up to the Metrop.
Montefilia meets your mare. She's Ideal, 3 kilos better at the weight today. What gives you the confidence that She's Ideal can rise to the challenge?
Well, I think she's the best she's been. I think the 2,400 is perfect for her. She's had an uninterrupted preparation and she looked great before the race. So I couldn't be happier with her going into it. I don't think the little bit of rain we've had is a negative either.
placed twice in Group 1s, fourth in a Sydney Cup. What would it mean to win a Group 1 with this mare?
Yeah, I'd love to win it, and she deserves it. She's been in some tough races, and no, it would be very special.
Certainly can't doubt the fitness levels of Harpo Marks, and loves Randwick as well.
Yeah, he does, and he looks magnificent too for Derby racing, and I think he's not out of it at really good odds.
And for your old man Murray, a quick thinker here, we know he's got the runs on the board here at Randwick with a Derby win.
Yeah, for sure he does, and I think he's going really well, and the little bit of rain for him is a big positive, so he's not out of it either.
You love to beat Dad though, don't you?
Yeah, I love to beat him for sure. And no, we'll definitely brag about that.
Good luck, Bjorn.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm going with Charm Star on top. I thought that she looked as though she was presented really nicely. She's light and lean, and she looks as though she's made for this distance. So I thought I'd find a bit of value and look around her. Luntsies would be my second pick, just the amount of improvement that he's made. He's got to run a much better race than he has done previously. If you're looking for something that's more in the market, Entente is the horse that, out of the more favoured ones, who looks as though he is primed to run really well, backing up from last week.
So the pick of the yard is Charm Star, and Katie, Alicia Collett taking the ride. It's interesting, Bruce saying this changed the life of Regan Bayliss. If Alicia was able to win in the previous Group 1 or win in this Group 1, this would certainly change her life.
It would, and look, she's such a talented young rider. She's actually sitting second on the overall premiership to James McDonald at the moment. So she's been riding in the provincial divisions. Obviously, the jockeys have been split up, and she's had to do, I think it's a 6-day isolation period before she can jump into the metropolitan scene. And look, she really does deserve this. She was so close in the Epsom with Arameo, and when you see her, she's such a strong rider. She can ride light, and she does deserve these opportunities that she's getting.
Bruce, there's so many chances in this race. Once again, a big handicap all the way down to 50 kilos with Andrew Atkins on Zayrek, and Luntsies with that spread up to Spirit Ridge, who's been lumped with 58.
No, spot on, Richo. And deep race, 4 Group 1 winners, not all of them in cracking form. I thought it came down to 3 horses. Entente, Montefilia and She's Ideal. They're the 3 that I'm really working around. There are other chances, but they're the ones I like most. So Montefilia, little question mark at the trip. She's Ideal. Just that weight difference with Montefilia maybe evens them up. And Entente, a 3rd consecutive week. But it's Gay and Adrian, and they're rock hard fit, and he's in good form. So they're the 3 for me. And Bruce, you mentioned jockeys winning 3 Group 1s on this day. We've had a few changes. Corey Brown won a spring champion on Niello, a Flight Unearthly, and County Tyrone in a Metrop. So our good mate Corey's done it. Yeah, and when Larry Cassidy won the 3 we're talking about today, I'm talking about the Epsom, the Flight, and also the Metropolitan. The Metrop was on the Monday, so you're spot on, Rich. I mean, we had 4 Group 1s for such a long time. The spring champion went to Caulfield Guineas Day, what, about 4 years ago, I reckon? 4 or 5 years ago? Absolutely, about that. So the reason we're talking about that is because Regan Bayliss is riding Warning, trying to win his 3rd Group 1 of the day. 3 from 3. What a story it'd be for Regan Bayliss. It is the Metrop. 155th running of the race. Railings and Torquay won this race in 2005 and 2006 and went on to win the Caulfield Cup. Let's check it out.
No luck today for Ice Bath. So Ladon Devi appears to be the last to move forward as Charm Star goes in centre stalls. Entente, having his 3rd run in as many weeks, is the 9-2 favourite. 550, stand by, ready to run here in the Metropolitan. Jumping at the 180-metre mark. And they're just about right, waiting for the all clear. Gates are open now. They're off and racing here in the Metropolitan. And Spirit Ridge left well with Hush Rider, but Whiteout Quick Thinker and Ladon Devi are showing pretty good muster, and Entente's handy enough. Angel of Truth deeper out, and Zayrek's burrowing through there, right in the firing line with the white cap. And we still don't have an established leader. Dashing Willoughby Parks behind with Harpo Marks, then Luntsies the fence, Montefilia deeper out. Around Charm Star, then Great House. Further back to No Compromise, She's Ideal Warning, and Attorney's been taken back to last. So Spirit Ridge continues to roll forward inside the 1800 metres, and Spirit Ridge has got the front now by a length and a half. Quick Thinker goes to 2nd, Hush Rider 3rd, Angel of True 4th, 1 off the fence. Ladon Devi couldn't find a spotting, cast 3 deep. Then Zayrek on the inside of Entente. Dashing Willoughby looks to be 3 wide. Further back to Harpo Marks, about midfield now from Luncy's. Then Montefilia, who's on a wide path here in the race, but Bowman's allowing her to stride a little bit closer. Charm Star's a touch keen back in the field. No Compromise went past her. Then Great House from She's Ideal Attorney, and Warning is the last one. So they race towards the 1250 metre mark now, and it's Spirit Ridge in front from La Donne de Vie, who goes to a clear second, and now Dashing Willoughby improves the outside. Dashing Willoughby moves up into 3rd spot. Quick Thinker now 4th from Hush Rider. Entente wider out, and Entente is starting to gradually improve his position. They're 2 lengths clear from Angel of Truth and Montefilia 3 out. Zayrek the fence. Further back to Harpo Mark, still pulling from No Compromise. Further back to Luncy's from Charm Star. She's Ideal 3 wide, a length and a half. Great House. Then came Attorney, and Warning last of all, about 16 off the lead. So Dashing Willoughby's taken over, approaching the bend. Dashing Willoughby at the 600, a length on Spirit Ridge. Then came La Donne de Vie, followed by Hush Rider. Quick Thinker is poking through the middle. Wider out came Entente. No Compromise getting to the outside. All got a bump there from Montefilia as they straighten, and Zayrek's getting right up the inside. They come up the rise now. It's Hush Rider, Spirit Ridge and Entente. Now Montefilia, No Compromise balancing up again with Great House. She's Ideal's the deepest. It's Entente and Montefilia. Montefilia put the head in front from Entente. Montefilia from Entente. Montefilia, Entente. Both of their heads going down to the wire, and it's desperately close in the Metropolitan. Nothing between Montefilia and Entente. Really could go either way there. A good gap back to in 3rd position, I think, Harpo Marks, and they were followed in by Zayrek from Luncy's, Charm Star, No Compromise, She's Ideal, Great House from Warning, Hush Rider. Good gap back to Spirit Ridge. Then came La Donne de Vie and Angel of Truth.
Has he got it? Has Huey finally got the 100? We wait for the photo. Your gut feel is that Huey Bowman joins the greats with 100 career Group 1s. We wait. Head right on the line. I don't know if she really saw out the 2,400 metres, but her class got her over the line and she wins it. And Bruce, Huey joins the greats with 100.
It's remarkable, isn't it? I mean, so well known for winks. I mean, 25 of them with winks, Richo, which is quite crazy. She did get there. It was a great battle. So an historic moment, I mean, with George Moore and Damien Oliver and Jimmy Cassidy. It's the elite club, Richo and Katie. Katie, what a moment for Huey. He's had some ups and downs since the winks ride, hasn't he? This is special.
It is special, and what a ride. He rode this horse so well and just really appreciated that good solid tempo and just produced the mare at the right time. He knows her so well, of course, being aboard her, winning the Flight Stakes last year, and she's just been such an honest customer for him. And as you said, when you look back and you see Entente on the inside, and just knowing that that horse is from Gay and Adrian's yard, that they're just going to dig in deep as he did. Entente, that's 3 weeks backed up in a row. That was going to be some training effort there, but thrilled for Huey and his family, Christine, the 2 girls, and absolutely thrilled for him.
Well, this cements him as a great of the Australian turf. He's picked up Montefilia. She's such a classy filly now, mare. There was a query over the 2,400 metres. She got there just in the nick of time as we paid tribute to one of the greats of Australian racing.
Hugh Bowman grew up on the farm, a country boy from Dunedoo.
Horses have been a part of my life from a very early age. In fact, I'd say I was probably riding horses before I could walk.
His father, Jim, was a horseman. He was the one who taught Hugh to ride.
You know, I can't give you much academically. One thing I can really do well for this kid is teach him to ride really well.
He rode his first winner aboard Slats as an amateur while he was still at school. Now, it wasn't Randwick, but the Wellington Picnic Cup. In the blink of an eye, Hugh was crowned champion apprentice in the New South Wales Central Districts. And so, as happens with some, Hugh outgrew the bush. He packed his bags and settled at Randwick. By 2004, he'd ridden his first Group 1 at just 23. From Dunedoo to Randwick, and far abroad.
Here comes Hugh Bowman on Cheval Ground going to Kiddersun Black. Cheval Ground goes up on the outside. It's Cheval Ground.
Hugh won wherever he rode.
Lion tamer for Hughie Bowman. He'll win the Derby by about 6 lengths.
And then Hugh went from a big name in racing to a name known through households around the world. When one of the best mares in world racing was coming into her prime, so was he. She was Winx, and he just happened to be around the corner. Together, they would become a partnership that was celebrated, applauded, marvelled at, and loved. The two went on the ride of their lives together, and they took us all with them.
I've been coming to this racetrack since I was 5 years old. I've never seen it full like this, and I've never seen a crowd with adulation for one man.
25 Group 1s, 4 Cox plates, excitement, jubilation, tension, relief, and plenty of tears.
Never seen anything better than that.
And Jim and Mandy, they've always been there. A dad proud of his boy.
I watch every race.
And Christine and the girls, they've held their breath too. They've smiled and cried and been so proud of their husband and dad.
It's been a dream come true, and I'm so proud of this man here.
There's still chapters to be written, but from all of us, Hugh, from those watching at home to those at home in Dunedoo, we salute you. 100, not out.
Beautiful, and he brings it up with a beautiful ride on Montefilia to win the Metrop. Hughie Bowman joins such an elite club. George Moore, Damien Oliver, Jimmy Cassidy, and now Hugh Bowman, 100 career Group 1s. Let's hear from the star.
Hughie, you've obviously been sort of knocking on the door for quite some time with that 100 Group 1 wins to your name, and I heard the roaring at the top of the straight, and I could distinctly hear it was your voice. You threw everything but the kitchen sink at her, but she's a mighty mare.
She's a mighty mare, and I've had a wonderful association with her, and 12 months ago we were unexpected winners of the Flight Stakes, and she's gone on to achieve at the highest level since then and also run consistently. But I must admit that it's a great milestone. I'm very proud to have achieved it, and obviously one horse was involved in a quarter of those 100 victories, so that in itself is amazing. But I really miss having the atmosphere. Like it really is a bit of a damper. It's great that we're racing, but the people and the fans and the race goers on these big days in particular just make the atmosphere for what it is, and it just doesn't feel the same without them. So also for my darling wife Christine and my 2 kids, they can't be here, which is a shame, but Christine's been there every step of the way through thick and thin, and I'm just so proud to be able to do it for us.
Upon reflection, when you think about some of your major victories in the last 18 months, they haven't been in front of crowds. A Golden Slipper comes to mind. Of course, it will be great to have them back at the races, but for you, it's still a special moment in your career after being so young and being able to get those 100 victories and that elite club you've joined.
Yeah, it is amazing, and I've won some wonderful races that haven't made it into that Group 1 level too. One that does exclude it is the Everest, so we're going to try and do that this year, hopefully. But no, all in all, I've had a wonderful career. Hopefully there's still some good years ahead, and there has been a little bit of a readjustment since Winx retirement, and you know, I think that's shown in my riding, but I'm really trying to do my best to regain the momentum that I was accustomed to. I don't feel I'm there yet, but this race is certainly a stepping stone towards that, so I'm very proud.
Out of the 100, is there one that just steps a little bit above the rest?
My association with Winx, but with her, like, she's in a different gear altogether, and it's hard to compare anything to any of her wins, but the Japan Cup really comes to mind because the sacrifice that was made by myself and my family to go over there and really, you know, we threw caution to the wind, so to speak, to try and make something happen, and all the ducks lined up for me. I got on the horse 2 weeks out, and Cheval Grand went on to win one of the biggest races on the planet. So if I had to pick one that excluded Winx, it's that race for sure.
Well, congratulations from everyone in racing. You have done a marvellous job, and we love seeing you win them.
Thanks to everyone that supported me throughout that.
So many supporters. Huey Bowman from Dunedoo to the Hall of Fame and 100 career Group 1s. The whole journey started with Defier for his great mate and Guy Walter. And Hugh thought so much of Guy Walter that this year when he was inducted into the Hall of Fame, Hugh made the trip across to be there for the presentation. That's where it all started. He'd be thinking about Guy Walter, he'd be thinking about Winx, he'd be reflecting on an incredible career. He's got so much to be proud of. And he did it in style with Montefilia for David Payne. So Huey gets 100 and joins the greats of the Australian turf as we take a big, deep breath. And for New South Wales, Victoria and Queensland viewers to continue watching their racing, we can switch over just in a moment over to 7-2 now. To continue watching the racing, we've still got 2 races to come. So move across now to continue the great action.